Hi, I'm Yujie, the instructor for this video. Today, I want to share a topic in designing interface, which is wireframing. Wireframes are one of the simplest tools you can use to convey a big idea. But the value of a wireframe goes much further than simply getting your idea down on paper or in Figma. A wireframe is a simple visual guide that represents the skeleton framework of a website or digital product. Think of it as the blueprint for your final design. Wireframes are most often created by designers. They need to be basic enough so that everyone from other designers, stakeholders, developers, and users can understand this idea. Wireframes are not the time to set anything in stone. In fact, the opposite. The power of wireframes is that they provide an opportunity to gather more information through usability research and stakeholder input. Because wireframes are so simple, people can more easily focus on functionality and the user experience rather than getting hung up on colors and other aesthetic elements. These are the examples of wireframe in website mode and mobile application mode. In a traditional design process, wireframes come after hand-drawn sketches and right before high-fidelity mockups or prototypes. There are two levels of wireframing, which are low fidelity and high fidelity. First, low fidelity wireframing is the most basic type of wireframing. It is so simplistic to represent your ideas. Moreover, creating your wireframes in Figma will allow you to easily share them and make sure your team has access to your latest. They are done in grayscale with a focus on layout and high-level interaction. UI elements and content are represented by basic shapes like square, triangles, circles, and lines. All its elements are arranged with the main focus on functionality, behavior, and the priority of content. Next is high fidelity wireframing that takes what you put in the low fidelity stage and sprinkles in more of the detailed elements. It includes actual content, visual markers, and branding signifiers like colors, graphic, typefaces, and font style. UI elements look realistic and might even include textures and shadows. At this stage, a designer might also choose to add in image and videos. A high-fidelity wireframe captures the look and feel of the product in the advanced stages of the design process. This wireframing kit will provide all the basics you need to create great-looking wireframes. The most important point is that a ready-to-use high-fidelity wireframe template can accelerate your design process and save your valuable time. There are no hard and fast rules for what you need to include in your wireframe and what you must leave out, but there are some best practices to help you get the most out of your work. First, keep aesthetic elements simple by using grayscale colors such as white, black, and gray in between. Also, use two fonts as maximum in your design. At this stage, you are using typography to communicate the hierarchy of information. Limit yourself to two fonts to make the hierarchy clear. Change the font size and use bold and italic as needed to differentiate and call attention to different pieces of information in your wireframe. Graphics such as video and image can be represented with boxes. Keep the focus on the layout by using simple symbols that rely the future placement of graphic and image. Call out video placement with a triangle as a play button on applicable boxes. Image placement can be represented as squares or rectangles with X through them. Lastly, consider the screen size for your design. Wireframes should be equally creative and technical. Consider the many different places, stage, and where your design might be used. Three questions that might drastically influence your wireframe or version of your wireframe include the supported device such as desktop or mobile design. There are many types of prototype size you can choose in Figma, as shown in the video. In your design, you should consider screen orientation with either portrait or landscape and the context of use. If a specific feature in your product is more geared to desktop use, consider cutting it from the mobile version upfront, reducing the design to match how people will actually use it and save a lot of time and money. There is almost no wrong time to use a wireframe, but there are times when they can be extra helpful. Whether you are trying to explain your idea to others, a wireframe presents a simple visual representation that everyone can point to. Wireframes are used when you want to get stakeholders to focus. Because the magic of a wireframe lies in the simplicity, your clients and colleagues won't get hung up on downstream details like colors and image. Instead, they will be forced to focus on important structural elements. Also, wireframes help to catch problems early. Wireframes allow you to map out how all the elements will look and interact once the design is put into a working prototype. This way is easier to rework part of a wireframe than it is to rebuild a prototype or web application. It cut down on revision time. Related to catching problems early, putting an idea in front of the team or a client in a wireframe give everyone the opportunity to discuss at a time when it's relatively easy to adjust and revise. By getting collective feedback early, you will cut down on revision time later. Wireframe is used when you want to decide the content prioritization. Wireframes naturally reveal space constraints and the hierarchy of elements on the page without relying on the content itself. Seeing the elements laid out anonymously will help everyone decide if the right weight is given to the most important content. Lastly, it's very useful when you want to test usability with users. When you are testing out a new idea with someone, they don't need to see every little details for you to determine if the idea is going to work. Wireframes give you just enough to work with so that you can validate your approach or pinpoint where adjustments are needed. Figma has a wireframe template to get you started and for those who want to jump into designing on screen. Figma is browser-based, so sharing your wireframes is as easy as sharing a link. Your team can leave comments right on the file so you can easily get feedback and field questions. Figma provides various types of wireframe, such as interactive wireframe, mobile application wireframe, website application wireframe, and many more. This short video shows a simple example of website wireframe in Figma. Figma will show you step by step to create wireframe. It includes button and card design, navigation appearance, and many other sections which are normally shown in website. All these design templates serve as a reference and help you to start your application smoothly and faster. In conclusion, Wireframe kits validate your ideas and speed up your design workflow with Figma's component-based wireframe kit. Anyone can design wireframes and website mockups with Figma's easy drag and drop interface. Figma can easily customize the components to your needed style right in the browser and make it easy to explore how your website should function. And when you are ready, go from blueprint to end product. This is all for the topic of wireframes in Figma. Thank you. See you in the next video.